check my email and I decide to answer later. Another cup of coffee and I drag myself to work. My life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. I'm sitting there at work and I realized I forgot to wake up. I can't be productive when I'm dreaming about a sheep. I go upstairs and get myself another cup of coffee. I get downstairs and then I spill it on the floor. Well, my life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. Lunch hour's over and I can't stay up. I've got to drink coffee, but that's a mistake. I'd best switch to decaf or I'll stay awake. My life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. Well, I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. I stick to what I know. I stick to what I know.
Hey everybody! Alright, so now our topic is about meal plans and what we feed our toddler. So this is a topic that I like to discuss with other people, but I don't like to necessarily, give pointers because everybody's kid is vastly different. So I'm just going to tell you kind of like Kyle and I's rule of thumb and how we do things, and that's it. So basically I have several points that we do, and the first one is that she eats a lot of our food now. And we expose her to a lot, and we do not shy away from flavor, which we think is really important. We had read one time that, kids are already going to be naturally inclined to be a little picky. It's just kind of the nature of a child. But you can make it worse by just giving them bland foods. Their palate just becomes used to bland foods, and, anything that's got a little spice to it or a little flavor, they're going to be like, what is that? I hate it. So she gets a lot of our food, and we don't shy away from flavor and things like that. The other point I wanted to make is that we are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Kyle and I wish I could tell you guys that I got my vegetables because I'm gardening in the back for my little vegetable thing while and afterwards I go to the front yard and milk my cow for my fresh milk. But no, that is not how we do things. So we are by no means perfect. We are not all organic. We don't do all fresh. I'm sorry that I can't tell you we do, but we don't. What we do try to do though is we try to make better choices in general so that we can allow some moderation of other things. Like Kyle and I, we're not anti-sugar. Sophie gets sugar. We're not anti-processed foods. She gets some processed foods. We're not anti-fast food. She gets fast foods. However, we keep all that. It's all about moderation. It's all within, a good limitation of things like that. We don't want to... I've seen too many cases of kids who are completely denied any sugar, and then as soon as they get on their own, they go crazy. I mean, how many people in college had someone on their hall in their dorm or something that would literally go to the grocery store and buy all junk food because they never got it at home, and so they go crazy. And I don't want Sophie to be like that either. I want her to learn how to, moderate what she's eating and just because a lot of the stuff, it's not that it's so bad, it's that we eat way too much of it, especially here in America. We're really guilty of that. So I think, you know, Kyle and I feel like it's better to just teach Sophie that all good things, you know, in moderation. So that's kind of our rule of thumb. And when I say that we try to make healthier choices, like Kyle and I, we eat 100% whole grain bread, we eat 100% whole grain pastas, we eat the free range brown eggs, and the difference with those is that they have extra like omega-3 in them. We do stuff like that. So with us, it's kind of small steps, you know, nothing big, but it's little things like that that we try to be better about. But in general, I would tell you that Sophie probably eats healthier than we do. So yeah. Okay, so then I wanted to tell you guys some examples of foods that we feed her. Breakfast, I'm not really a breakfast person. I don't cook breakfast a lot or anything like that. So for breakfast, she usually gets something like a waffle, but I never give her like syrup on it. Instead, I'll give her a waffle with cream cheese, so she's getting some extra dairy, or peanut butter, so she gets some protein. You know, it's just a little like trick to get some of that other stuff in her. And she always gets fruit every breakfast. She likes bananas, apples, blueberries, strawberries. She likes a lot of fruit. Those are her favorite. An example for lunch would be something like a peanut butter sandwich, or maybe some grilled chicken. Occasionally she gets nuggets. Yes, nuggets, I know. She totally gets nuggets. But like I said, once again, not every meal. So, and always vegetables. Always gets a vegetable. Vegetable every time. Lots of vegetables. She actually loves vegetables and fruit. And we actually have trouble getting her to eat more meat or protein things. So anyway, veggies and fruits are big for her. And then for dinner, an example would be whatever we're eating. She eats pretty much what we're eating. And if for some reason we're not eating a family meal, she'll get something similar to lunch, you know. So, and then snack examples would be crackers or fruit. She loves apple slices, and I'll put like a little gob of peanut butter on a plate and she'll dip it in the peanut butter. She thinks that's awesome. And then, you know, toddler snacks, like the stuff like you could buy from Gerber, like little Gerber toddler snacks. Like she'll eat stuff like that for snacks. And then, okay, so those are just some examples. Obviously, she's going to get more variety than that, but that's just, there you go. There's an example of a day's worth of meals for Sophia. And then, here are some of my, like, easy go-to foods or some tricks that we do. And one of them is, like I said, you can never top fresh vegetables. They always win. Fresh vegetables are the winner right there. But what I do is I also keep little like mini size cans of vegetables in the cabinet. And you can get the kind that are low sodium where they don't really add a lot of salt or anything to them. And it's pretty much just vegetable and water. And I get those, and what I do is at the beginning of the week is I will say that I had a can of the carrots, like the sliced carrots. I'll put them in a Tupperware container, I'll add a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of like pepper or something to season them, stir them up, I put them in the microwave and steam them, take them out, drain them, and then I've got a Tupperware container of carrots. So if I don't make her a fresh vegetable, or we run out of, you know, the fresh carrots or something, I don't have any excuse. I have an already ready vegetable that I can just heat up in the fridge for that week, you know, and I do that kind of thing. And that's a trick that I do to make sure I never get lazy and don't give her a vegetable. So, plus she likes them so much, you know, I'd hate to deny her something she likes, especially if it's healthy for her. So that's a trick. We always have fruit. We do not ever go without fruit in this house. There's always fruit. For on the go, like yogurt covered raisins or yogurt covered strawberries, crackers, like adult crackers too, like the little peanut butter crackers, not even kid kind, she loves them. Toddler Mum-Mums, oh my goodness, what a wonderful snack. They are organic rice, little rice cracker things, like just made out of rice, but they are great. They make them for infants and they dissolve almost instantly. But then they also have a toddler version too. You can get them at Babies R Us or Walmart or Target. I mean, they're not like a specialty item. And then we always keep some like Gerber snacks, toddler snacks. And I say Gerber, but any brand. I mean, any brand you want. And if you're an organic family, there's companies that make organic ones, but any of those toddler snacks, and like I said, I say Gerber because that's what we usually get, but it doesn't matter. There's yogurt bites and like little crunchies. We always have those because they're really easy and quick to grab. I can't remember the brand name, but I'll put up a picture. But there's these little snack sandwich things that are called Sammy's, and she loves those. And I only found them at Whole Foods and at Babies R Us. I'm sure they're everywhere else too, but that's the only place I've seen them. But I haven't really gone out of my way to look for them. So they're delicious though. She loves them. I get her, there's a chocolate banana one, and she's like, yes. And then besides food items, things we do is we have snack cups. They are great. If you don't utilize a snack cup, you should try. It's super cool. They're, you know, it lets her feel more independent and in control of her eating, which I think toddlers like. So she can have her little snack cup. She walks around. She just eats her little snacks. It's fantastic. We'll put Cheerios in there. I put, oh, goldfish. That's another thing. I always have goldfish. Anyway, but you can put something like that in the snack cups, and it's great, especially if you're trying to be out somewhere and she's in the stroller and she's hungry. And then utensils. Too many parents shy away from utensils. They should just have exposure to their own little fork. You can go get toddler forks. And actually, Sophie gets more interested in eating with her forks. She has a fork at every meal. And, you know, she eats perfectly with a fork, but sometimes she has trouble spearing the food, like getting it onto the fork. But if we didn't give her a fork, she'd never get to practice, and she's never going to get better at it. So I would highly recommend carrying a fork around. We carry a fork everywhere with us. It's in our diaper bag, her little toddler fork. So yeah. Okay guys, so that's what we do. Like I said, we're not perfect. I don't, you know, like I told you, I don't have my cow and my organic garden in the backyard, you know, for me to get the freshest foods ever. But we just, basically Kyle and I, like I said, our big thing is moderation. And that you get more of the good stuff than the bad. And that for us, we feel that the bad stuff isn't that big a deal if it's in moderation or it's occasional. And you're eating lots of the other good stuff instead. So that's what we do. It's nothing special, but it works for us. And like I said, don't be scared to let your kid experiment or try new things. Don't be scared of flavor, because you're just going to make them more picky. And you know, kids are already going to get picky anyway, so so that helps. But anyway, so that's it. So I hope that was interesting, if anything else. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.